Hi. Welcome to All Things Royal. We are still on Wendy Berry's book, A Housekeeper's Diary, Charles and Diana Before the Breakup. In this chapter, Wendy talks about the time when Andrew Morton's book was released. As most of us know by now, Diana actually helped write that book. She gave a lot of information to Andrew for his book. Charles was informed by his press secretary of the impending publication of that book. Anyway, before the release of the book, Charles and Diana had respective state visits to get through. Before Charles would leave for his, he received a call from Diana, who was in London at that time. Now after that call, Charles was in such a bad mood. He snapped at the staff several times and was just not in the mood to respond civilly to them. He got irritated as well by the simplest of things. After a few hours, however, Charles calmed down a lot and he actually apologized to the staff for his behavior. And that was also the difference between Charles and Diana. Diana had the habit of carrying a grudge for days, even weeks, and would not apologize at all for her behavior. Anyway, Wendy also talks about a time when Charles was supposed to have breakfast with the boys before going to play polo in the afternoon. What Diana did was to send up for a tray to be brought up for her and the boys in the nursery. Of course, Charles was so upset with what Diana did. What made things worse was the fact that Diana would then bring the boys down, and as Charles thought he would be spending time with the boys, she told Charles that he can go to his precious polo. She was bringing the boys to London with her. Wendy mentions how her own mental health was affected with what was happening to the couple. Anyway, Charles and Diana attended Expo 92 in Spain, and Wendy noted how miserable they looked in their photos. When they got back, Charles was informed by his press people that the Mail on Sunday was publishing portions of Morton's book. Charles asked his press secretary to fax him pages of the paper as they would appear. So at some point on a Sunday morning, pages of Morton's book were laid out on the breakfast table. When Diana saw these pages when she went down for breakfast, she immediately went back to her room. Charles read the pages published and Wendy saw that he was devastated. She believed it was more about the betrayal of trust which devastated Charles. As he read the book and read private details of their life there, he knew that Diana contributed to that book. Diana would come down later, get in her car and drive off for London. Her eyes were red-rimmed and she too looked devastated. But I think she had a different reason for her devastation. Anyway, that book really devastated Charles. A lot of people, including the staff, feared for him and his mental health. He received also numerous calls from his mother, and Wendy believed Charles was berated by the Queen for his inability to control the situation on his end. When next Diana came to Highgrove, she had some guests and hosted a dinner party for them. She also brought Harry with her. She thought that Charles would not be there that weekend. But Wendy knew that Charles had the habit of dropping by in Highgrove after polo to change clothes. And true enough, Charles did drop by. At some point, he would walk up to Diana and would tell her that she said she would not come to Highgrove. This of course upset Diana and she was soon downcast after that. William also celebrated his 10th birthday and Charles and Diana put up a united front for that birthday. However, it seems that things became challenging for Charles as one of their horses had to be put down when he stepped on a groove and broke his leg. This added to Charles' misery and stress at this point. Wendy also mentioned how the hacking of Diana's phone soon yielded articles in the papers about private conversations she had with her contacts. This time, Diana was the one very much embarrassed by this news. So all in all, this chapter shows how much drama would soon lead up to their separation. In the next videos we will discuss these developments further. Please leave your thoughts below. Don't forget to like my videos and subscribe to my channel. Thanks and have a nice day.